Okay, in this video I want to talk to you about how you handle when employers request proof of work or submitting a professional portfolio. So let's start with, what is in a portfolio or a collection of professional work. All right, so to start with, you're going to put any credentials you had, lists of certifications, official qualifications, that type of thing. So things stated up front, your credentials for the position, right? You can oftentimes lead with the information that's core there at the top of your resume, right? You oftentimes have an objective statement in there as well in terms of work relevant to that type of thing. All right. Then you'll have your list of accomplishments. Generally, this is another section of it where it's deeper than the resume, right? You can go into more combining what you do in the cover letter and the resume in explaining about the position, what you were able to accomplish, that type of thing, the impact you had, what it meant for you. So it can be more narrative in nature, but you, again, cover your accomplishments, even outside of your work experience, your professional projects you might have worked on, things outside, your primary employment. All of these things, again, contribute to accomplishments. So start with certifications and credentials, then go to accomplishments, okay? Work reports or reviews, if you want to include those in there as part of a reflection of your prior performance. Now, not all employers give work reviews and things like that, okay? I was previously in the military, and there is officer evaluation reports that are very detailed that say amazing things about you if you do your job well, type thing. Well, those are a great source of information or reference for future employers, right? It's an indication of your work performance, and it's spelled out in a way that's easy to understand and things like that. So that being said, if you have access to that, if you have that and it's a positive thing, you may want to include it in there, right? Letters of recommendation, whether academic or professional in nature, you can include those in there, right? Label them as such, whether it's academic letter of recommendation or whether it's professional. And if you curious about what goes into a letter of recommendation, we have another video and article on that, so you can access that material on thebusinessprofessor.com. Writing samples. Soft skills, communication skills are essential. Okay, particularly in entry-level type positions, putting forward writing samples is extremely important to show that you're a good communicator, that you can wield language and execute grammar and things like that appropriately. Because how you communicate oftentimes is going to represent the company if you deal regularly with outsiders, that type of thing. So writing samples could be necessary for certain types of positions, right? List of projects you've worked on, that type of thing. That goes towards experience again, but once again, something to make certain you include in there, okay? Display of technical and analytical skills, sometimes that is very important, right? If you claim you can do some level of technical skill, whether it's calculations, for finance or statistics, something in that realm, or whether you have the ability to draw up strategic plans and things like that in another realm, include proof of work, right? Include an example of how you've done it, right? The most shining example, a doctored up example, where you make it as perfect as you possibly can to show that you have that ability or skill set. Okay, if you've received any awards or been written up, published in any way based upon your work, again, you might want to include those things in there. And then any business documents that are open source, not protected in any way, or at least not subject to a level of confidentiality, that you can include in there, might demonstrate your work and the extent of your responsibilities and experiences that you have, right? So make certain everything is laid out. Some simple tips: make sure you include your name, your contact info, things like that. Make it organized. Tab it out. Put a table of contents in there. Try to be as concise and to the point as possible so that it really gets to the heart of what you're trying to demonstrate with the portfolio, which is mostly related to professional competence, right? So make it highly organized. And if you're going to use other people's work as reference and things like that, just make sure you get permission from them. If you're going to include letters of reference or recommendation in there, let others know that you're including it in there so they won't be surprised by it if they are contacted in any way as a result of it. So all those taken together, that's what goes into a proof of work package or portfolio.